Okay, we're going to go ahead and talk about a simple trick for a 20-point Netflix bottom call, how to clear your mind for tomorrow so you're prepared for the next trading day, our game plan in Forex, as well as our full stock analysis. I am Mark Melnick, and this is the Newsbeat Show. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. I am Mark Melnick, Senior Trading Strategist here at T3 Live, and we're going to talk about a trading strategy, as a strategist should do. So it was very interesting. So we were watching Netflix in the morning. Two big upgrades coming out. We saw Netflix break $300. Here's a daily from the first time last Friday. Right over here, you could see Netflix hit $301.18, closed over 301. And a lot of the analysts that came out with a 2 in front of their price targets, like $200 and change, now had to start thinking, now we're at a totally new, $100 level. The psychology changed, a very key psychological level when you break $100 mark. And now all of a sudden they're watching, this $300 level. So, okay, $345 target coming out of UBS Warburg today. Macquarie coming out with over a $300 target as well. We had a lot of pre-market volume in Netflix, and I wanted to buy it. So Netflix was gapped up $1.70. It had a lot of volume, and I was pretty much placed right in the middle of the action, just like you are as a trader every day. So what did I do? Well, this is pretty much what I did, and then I'm going to talk about what one of our subscribers did. And pretty much I was watching Netflix fall here down to 302 and change, and I basically said, if we get a hard flush through $301, I'm going to buy it. And of course I'll let you guys know when I do it. So we got this huge flush through $301. We actually ended up hitting $297.60, and I went ahead and I bought some options and I bought some stock down there, and I flipped it, and it bounced real quick for a quick couple grand. But what I really want to do is talk about a trader, a new trader in the room. He's also just a new trader in general. He's been trading a month, and he was able to make $800 today on Netflix. And what this gentleman did was he bought a $305 call, and he paid $4 and change for it. And he was able to ride Netflix off of our bottom call. He bought in right near the dead bottom, and he was able to sell the stock at $315. He sold his option call, of course, when the stock hit $315. Stock got as high as $316.91 for a 20-point bounce off our level, and he made $800. And I just want to say, what a phenomenal trade. I am almost honored and humbled by people who make trades like that. And I was sitting there and doing the math, and I had 500 shares of Netflix, very small position, and 6 option contracts in Netflix. And I was calculating the math, and I was like, if I were to sell it when he sold it, if I were to sell my position and held it to the point of where he sold it, how much money do you think I would have made? We're talking 6 option contracts, the 302.50s, and 500 shares of stock when we dipped that morning. How much money do you think I would have made? I ended up making $2 grand, which is pathetic. But how much money could have we made on a trade like that? And there were other traders in the room who also caught, moves to like 308 and 310 and 312. And I'm just using this one guy as an example because I really felt I traded this one poorly. Phenomenal bottom call, second to none. I'll pat myself on the back. I traded this one horribly. Okay? So that's first me admitting that I could have traded this Netflix a lot better. All right, here's the answer. If I held those 500 shares and I held those calls and I sold them when it was at $315, drumroll, I would have made $14,000 on a very, very modest and a very small play. I'm sorry, that's 14,000 on the calls. would have actually been, hold on, plus the stock. That would have been 18 points, 9,000. It would have been a little over 23,000. Right. Vince, you're the winner. So I would have actually made I was just looking at the options instead of the stock. So I would have made over $23,000 on a trade that netted me $2,000. How pathetic is that? How pathetic is, see, most people are like, wow, you made $2,000, that's great, but not when that much money was left behind. It wasn't great. So I'm actually highlighting the person who made $800, a brand new trader who was risking, he literally said I was going to risk $100 on that option trade. He was risking 1 point on one contract and a Netflix off of our bottom call, and he was returned 8 points in his favor. He made more than 8 points. He made over $800 in net profit. And it's trades like this that I think should be very defining, in which I wish I could have taken advantage of it in a much more profitable way, so to speak. So what could have so what did I do? What is the simple trick here? How did I do it? What I've noticed is an extremely high statistical probability in stocks that have positive notes. So here's the trick. So many of you are wondering, okay, now tell us how you did it. If you're able to flush through an exponential 8 moving average and you hit the simple 20 on a 5-minute chart on a good news name that pulls down for the first time, you have a buying opportunity when it hits the 20. You have a buying opportunity when it hits the 20. So the yellow line you see on my screen right now is an exponential. Bear with me. This is important. The yellow line you see on my screen right now is an exponential 8. The brown line you see on my screen is a simple 20. So here, let me pull up Microsoft Paint so I could just draw it out for you and make it really easy to see. So look. So when did a 5-minute bar hit the 8 and 20? Right here, right here, right here, right there. So what am I saying? I am saying that you could have purchased Netflix right there, right there, and I'm using the bottom of this, by the way, not the top. Right there, right there, right there. You see what I'm doing here? So our bottom call was actually first done right over here, at that bottom right here. This was our bottom call today. And you just see, and what I did was I was literally, because I was kind of upset with myself that I felt that I could have profited in a much more meaningful manner. And if I just literally held, I'm telling you, if I just literally held like 20% of my position, 20%, I could have made another 4 or 5 grand on top of the 2 grand I made. And I don't think that's too difficult to do. So really the simple trick was pointing out a statistical anomaly. I went back and I tested hundreds of news names that I called and found out that this is something that's statistically viable. So this really is one simple trick. All you need to do is put up an exponential 8 and a simple 20 moving average on your 5-minute chart. That is all you have to do. And take a name that has positive news, anything, an upgrade, whatever it is. A price dollar upgrade is how I based my test. And when you flush through the exponential 8 and hit the simple 20 for the first time, you have a buying opportunity. And that's how we called the dead low of Netflix. I know that sounds so easy. I know that sounds simple. But again, as I promised, it's a simple trick that is highly, highly, highly effective. We're going to talk now how to clear your mind for tomorrow and what you could do to really get in the moment of the market. So basically we see what's happening with the market right now in terms of we flushed down in early February, we shot back up, and then we pulled down over the past from last week into the end of the week before rallying on Friday and popping up today. And I feel there's just like a lot of confusion going around in terms of market movement. I'll tell you, like, I've been spot on the market call on Friday, like 100% right. And I feel like I was like 100% wrong today on the market call on the Friday, on a Monday, as today. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is really confusing. This is really baffling. What can I do to literally clear my mind for tomorrow? What can I do to clear my mind for tomorrow? I have to be able to do something that I know that I could do better. What is it? How do I do it? I'm still a little flustered after today, and I was feeling really good on Friday, and it's just one of those days where you're like, tomorrow is a new day. So I want to give you a quote I gave. I want to give you a quote that I gave in front of an auditorium of students. They weren't actually traders, they were prospective traders, potentially going to be traders, but I was in front of an audience and somebody asked me, what is your strategy in the market to become consistent? And I basically, with the microphone on my hand, and I loved being asked questions like that because I always love to throw a spin on things while explaining it. Here's the fact of being a trader. When it comes to being a trader, the truth is there really is no full strategy. People don't like to hear that. The truth is, if every strategy worked, if every single strategy out there worked, everybody would be a consistent trader. Everybody would follow it. It would be a no-brainer. It would be an absolute no-brainer. The truth is, traders don't have strategies. Traders are generally as good as their last trade. And people don't like to hear that because you have a lot of these traders who are making money during the dot-com bubble who can't make $1 today if their life depended on it. And then you have traders who are excelling today and doing really great, and everyone in between. The truth is, we just have to come in every single day as if it's just a brand new day and a brand new slate. What you did today can only be helpful tomorrow if you figure something out statistically. So here I am in a frustrating day. I'm sitting here and I'm doing my work. I'm putting in my effort, and I noticed the statistical anomaly that has been working over the past hundreds of trades. 83% of the time this strategy worked, where you flush through the exponential 8, you hit the simple 20, and then you bounce from there and you have at least a scalp trade. I'm not saying you just grind up all day like we did in Netflix today, but you have an opportunity and a name like Netflix to catch 5, 6, 7 points, pretty easily. Maybe not 20 all the time like it did today, but at least 5 points, And that's a solid trade, and that's a solid way to make money. So what I did was I literally said I am going to turn today's flustering, aggravating, stressful day into something positive. And not only that, I'm going to share it with you so I could bring this positivity towards you. The more and more that you learn these little things and these little tricks every day, the better and better and better of a trader you're going to ultimately be. If you keep striving on this journey and you look at this as a journey in which you are learning, in which you will never fully master. Nobody ever fully masters the market. It's an impossible game. Yeah, we keep trying because that is the correct thing to do. If you keep trying to master it, you're going to get better. You know you will ultimately never master it because the market will always be bigger than you. Just like the stars and the planets in the sky are bigger than you. You will never be bigger than them. But to get on that level, to get on the level where you're understanding it and you're trying to grow and you're trying to get better and you're trying to improve the very little things you do, that is what is eventually going to bring you over that hump. That is what is eventually going to bring you to that point of consistency. And if you continue on this journey with me, as you all are here in this room, you will continue to grow as a trader, and it's going to ultimately affect your bottom line P&L. Okay, got a little passionate there. Let's talk about our game plan in Forex. So on our game plan, I'm this is actually the old game plan. Sorry, it must have not saved. I'm going to go ahead and fix it right now. Don't copy this. This was yesterday's game plan. There we go. Okay. So I called VSell today. Nice little name. We went ahead and we bought some options in VSell today. If you were part of my Twitter list, you saw it. If you want to know what VSell looked like, it was just one of those beautiful shoot ups through the sky type names. I started buying my calls at $11.60, so I wasn't exactly early, but I paid, what was it? In the end, I paid, what did I pay? Like 39 cents for the 12 and a half March calls. And I went ahead and tweeted it, and the stock literally just had a simple move after we bought it at 1160 right at the end of the day. I mean, like, literally, here's the 5-minute chart, here's 3 o'clock. We literally were calling it right around here, and the stock literally hit 1205. Literally, I saw the calls printing 55 cents and whatnot. I mean, literally, those calls were up like 40%. And I mean, I obviously didn't sell them. And just a little name like this that I'm sharing with you guys today, little biotech name that exploded, low risk, high reward with the options, and I'm looking for an obvious break of $12.05. Of course, if you're interested in our Twitter feed, you can go ahead and sign up just for that service. You'll get alerts on your phone and your emails when I do open a position. So whether you're trading a primary job, it makes it very easy to follow. So I went ahead and I chose VSell as the trade in which I'm looking to break out to the upside. In terms of our Forex, I have one Forex trade. It looks kind of funky because I literally do a screenshot of my software. Just one trade, type buy, 4 standard lots, Euro Yen, 130.23. Here's my stop loss. Here's my take profit. Very easy if you just want to hit print screen and be part of that. So, okay. Now we're going to simply go ahead and I'm going to give you guys my full stock analysis on any names you're watching, including thoughts, levels, places where I would personally buy or sell your positions, things that could potentially help you make that better trade. Of course, that is for members of the Newsbeat live room only. If you're interested, there's a link in the description. You could try us out for $7. It's 30 days for $7. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. But if you do like it, which the majority of people do, and the majority of people do because we are the fastest growing trading room in the nation. I hope you guys enjoyed the Newsbeat Show. Happy trading, make money. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening.